welcome to another episode of Behind the Mask. A deal was made, and tonight I'm your host, Krystal, and we are chatting with Behind the Mask's creator and rightful host, Sarah Joy, tonight, who you'll know as our friendly neighborhood interrogator turned clone, as she says, the one usually helping us get to know the person behind the screen name. Of course, as such, we've all been dying to get to know you, wannabe Supergirl, yourself, over the last year plus of episodes, and I'm lucky to be the one asking you the questions tonight. So that said, we're going to get into it, and I'm going to start by introducing you as, well, Sarah Joy. You may already know her from Coruscant Nights, The Other Place, Tubular Teens with Titans, and Behind the Mask, and I'm using my hands a lot. But per tradition, tell us about yourself, Sarah Joy, and in your words, how does the mundane world perceive you?
I know. Hello, friends. I'm excited to talk to you on this side of the chair screen. I don't know. Huge thanks to Krystal, who said the only way that I could interview her was if she interviewed me first.
You're welcome, everyone.
So here we go. Right. I do this for you all. Anyway, I'm Sarah Joy. The mundane world actually knows me. I for 13 years was in law enforcement, and then switched my career to be a project manager and a business analyst. So that is what I do full time now in tech. And it's the same job, but sometimes people are mad at you, but nobody's dying. So it's not bad.
Wait.
Yeah,
the same job
what?
as law enforcement? What is the same job?
I just tell people what to do.
Oh.
Yep. And then investigate why things are like they are. It's the same job.
Can I ask?
Just lower stakes.
Can I ask what your title is? Like, what in law enforcement? That seems very nebulous to me. What did you do?
Oh, yeah. So I was a patrol officer for a while. I ended up on homicide and sexual assaults and left as a detective lieutenant over the sheriff's office side of the Family Justice Center where I was.
That is incredibly fascinating to me. That's so cool. I had no idea about that at all. I'm already getting to know you.
Yeah, no, that's... I know, right? I tend not to talk about it very much, but when I say interrogator turned clone, I literally mean it. So that was my specialty, was interrogation.
That was going to be one of my questions. Is please explain.
Why do I say that?
Yeah, explain that to everyone. Like, I kind of know the story about the clones, but I don't really feel in the know about it because I came kind of later. So tell everybody, because there are new people here that also may not have seen or heard all the podcast episodes and know the inside jokes. Will you tell us about that?
Well, and it's even more deep than that because my brother and I are also mods, which I do a terrible job of modding unless you actually at me. So always at me, and then I'll come in and I'll be like, "Whoa, who said what?" But my brother is much better at it than I am.
I have never seen a need for that ever. Because of our awesome
community. And that's the thing. We had some bots at one point trying to get in the channel. So Drunkle Grog and I would bounce bots. But that's about it. So we have our little secret channel called the Clone Barracks, where that's where we're at. So I was like, it's Star Warsy. I'll throw together what I did with the fact that I'm a clone now. So
you have the place where you secretly take care of us from behind the scenes.
Yes. Sometimes when you at me. Worst mod ever.
No.
But I try.
Okay. Did I interrupt, or did you get to finish telling us kind of just your mundane world perception?
No, I think I did. I guess, yeah, that's the boring part of me. Is that. And then let's see, what else do I do?
I don't think that's boring,
I'm a
by the
professional. Oh, thanks. I'm a professional belly dancer, and run my own geek entertainment company. I also do aerials, and I'm a cosplayer. So
okay, yeah, explain geek entertainment company. What does that mean?
Oh yeah, yep. So I started running a geek belly dance troupe where we took belly dance and then we fused it with pop culture references. to kind of like bring the general public into belly dance. So I ended up getting some contracts with some Comic Cons, which
Wow.
hopefully will get back up and going after all of these shenanigans. Fingers crossed. My God, wash
There,
your hands, people.
always. Any year,
But
ever.
right. Oh my gosh. Why are we having this conversation? Why do you not wash your hands?
I wash my hands.
Right. Good. Because you're smart. Everybody else. Put up. But yeah, so and I started contracting with some other professional dancers, some circus folk, and then I've
Wow.
done sideshow. Like I've dabbled in sideshow since I was like 14. So I started bringing some of that back into what I was doing.
What does that mean? When you say sideshow, I think circus or sideshow Bob.
Uh-huh.
So explain.
Yep. Yeah. So I have a bed of nails. That's one of my things. I'm actually making a new one.
Aren't those supposed to
And
be
the old
like
one is way
therapeutic?
old. I think they are. I think they are. It's all science. And then I walk and perform on glass. So
And so like what kind of venues would we get to see you perform? Like where would that be at besides Comic
that's
Cons?
an awesome question. Yeah. So Comic Cons, and then I actually work with a psychedelic band here in Columbus. Like weird, right? And I'm out at their gigs sometimes. And then I used to be with Asheville Vaudeville when I was in Asheville, North Carolina. That's where my heart is.
Oh.
And then the Americana Sideshow and Burlesque Festival. I'm a part of that and will be helping them out this year, and hopefully they're performing. So
So interesting. So we've got
do weird things.
wild entertainment of various kinds. And law enforcement in the past and tech stuff. So you're just a total jack of all, Jane of all trades.
Yes, master of none.
I don't know.
That is very true. Mark dropped something in the chat. He said, "You're all understanding Marta," which is my other place character now. Yes, Marta was me.
Do you want to jump into that and talk about that? I think Ben specifically asked how you came up with your names for. I don't know. How much do we spoiler who Marta like becomes?
Like that was like back 2018. Like y'all had the entire pandemic to listen and catch up on the other place. 2019 was 2019 because I moved in 2019. 2019, 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been 2 years.
All right. So tell us about Marta and how you came up with that and her name and stuff.
So she is actually based on high school me.
Oh.
And I was very shy, very quiet until you got to know me. Drunk old Grog will probably be like, "No, you were never like that. I was never like that to him."
Because he knew you.
Right. But yeah, no, I didn't talk a whole lot, and just didn't really have a voice in high school, even though I was like one of my best friends in high school, still one of my really good friends. And she's like, "You're just the same person. You've always been the same person." So once you got to know me, this is who I was. But Marta, like, it was nice to kind of go back to that, like very quiet, and then like finding your voice and finding your confidence. And I brought in the theorizing. I think Mark cut most of it out.
Oh.
Go off on tangents, theorizing about what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is very much me. Like I have a theory for everything.
Oh, why aren't you in the message boards more? That's the theory zone, right?
I know.
Share your theories with the world.
Behind the scenes with Carp. That's why.
Well, I would like to hear more of your theories. So, anytime.
Oh my goodness. I will do that. Yeah.
I really like Marta's voice too. You're talking about your voice, and I thought,
oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know. It's you did a good job of making her character just sound like really sweet, but also like you mentioned, there's the confidence, and she's strong, and then there's that whole other side that we learn about her that I still haven't figured out, and don't know if we ever will, but would like to.
I don't know how much I can like go into that. She does have another side, which I So the way I make up names is I just let like names come to me and I'm like, whatever name it is, that's the name that it is. Like, I'm
Okay.
not going to sit here and overthink this or anything like that. I'm just going to grab whatever it is and that's it.
Can't
So,
relate to that.
right. Yeah. Most of my friends, so I game a lot, and most of my friends are like, yeah, I chose this name because it's got deep spiritual meaning to me. And I'm like, yeah, I just thought of it on a whim, and my character is a dinosaur because I just thought it would be cool. And they're like, got
I
this
love
deep
that.
tragic backstory, and I'm like, my character has both their parents, and
It's okay to have parents. It's okay.
right, like being the counter Disney, counter D&D stereotype. You can come from a well-adjusted childhood and still be an adventurer.
That's right.
So
So, what I'm gonna start with some of your classic questions, but
sure, yeah.
because we're talking about it, and that's what we're gonna talk about here. How long have you been gaming, and what would you consider
Oh,
your first game, as you like to put it?
yeah, that's a great question. So I actually I got into gaming and Drunkel Grog will probably have to help me out. I'm not great on years, but it was either like 2016 or 2017. Um, and my brother,
Mhm.
Drunkel Grog, I mean, like his name's on one of the Behind the Mask episodes. So like my brother, Ben, not the Heidi and Wait, I see you. Hello, Ben. Other Ben.
Other Ben.
Um, but my brother had started gaming with a group of his friends, and was like telling me stories about all of the games they did, and he was prepping to run a game. And so one day when I was driving home from work, I was either driving home from work or at work. It was a long day. I did a brief, weird life here. Did a brief stint in narcotics. So sometimes you would sit in a car for 8 hours and it was just terribly boring. But I
On
was
the
talking to
justice
him.
side, not like into narcotics.
Right.
Just to
Yeah, no, no,
clarify with
no. Like,
everyone.
yes.
In case you missed the
No,
beginning.
it's other. I bought drugs. I've not taken drugs. So it's super fun. Um, in, not on. Right. So he started running me through one of his games that he wanted to do, and it was technically my first game. It was all just role play and decision based instead of like dice based. Probably like a month or two later, I started hanging out with my friend Paul,
Mhm.
who was another cosplayer who I met through circus stuff, and he's like, I have this group. They play Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, I've been looking for a group since high school. I've never found a group. Like, let's do this. So I got involved after that. But I will always consider my first game with my brother my first game.
Was that a D and
So
d game?
it was a D and with Ben. He does fantasy age. So I don't know if it was based on the fantasy age stuff, but then my group game was a D&D game. So I started playing 5e. So
I don't know what any of those things mean, but
that means that you need to play with us more.
I know a little bit that
But
there
you
are,
played Genesis.
yes, but I don't know
Yeah,
like the lingo behind D&D very much because I have not played that.
totally fine, totally fine. Fifth edition, which some people will argue is the best edition and some people will argue is not. I think it makes D&D accessible in a way for a lot of people to play. So I'm here for that.
So what made you said you'd wanted to play since high school, and how long did it take you to get to start? How many years later was that?
Oh my God.
I mean, you don't have to give me numbers. Just was it a really long time, and why?
It was close to just shy of 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why did it take so
Uh,
long to get to play?
because when we grew up, I know Andrew is close to my age, if not, I think he's a little older.
Really?
But
Anyway.
maybe younger, maybe younger. But
Same.
when we grew up, nerdy stuff wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And like 3.5, I think, had just come out. And D&D was starting to kind of, right, we're friends, that's all that matters. We're D&D was starting to kind of come up a little bit, and it was starting to be a little more talked about than it was in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So like my high school, we talked about running a game. We never ran a game. And I was just always really interested because I was like, it would be super fun to play this crazy game with people where you just sit around a table and like fight monsters and talk to each other and problem solve and stuff like that. And just have fun with your friends. And like you can be whatever you want to be. So I like that.
So had Ben already been playing a long time and just took forever to invite you?
No, he had started playing probably about a year, I think, before I did.
Oh, okay.
So
That's fair then.
not very long. Yeah. And it was one of his employees who actually got him into the game. So
Do you guys play a lot of things together, you and he? Or ever?
Occasionally.
Do you
We
like
don't play
that?
a ton of things together. I do. I like driving him crazy in games.
Okay. So maybe that's why you don't always or as often.
I mean, I invite him. We do not since the incident. No, we've played together since the incident. The
Well, there's
incident
an
happened
actual-
before we played Kishi. There's an actual incident.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to
Yep.
tell us about the incident?
Oh, yes. I love telling everybody about it. I don't know how he feels about this.
Uh-oh.
We'd been playing for a couple years. It was right after I had it was right before I was moving back to Ohio, or right after I'd moved back to Ohio. And my friends Dex and Dana also play. And Dana's one of my best friends. Dex is her husband. Dex runs really great D&D games. Dana also runs really great D&D games. She's actually started DMing since then, and she's my longest running regular game right now. We'll talk about how many games I'm in later. It's a problem. But Dex had put together this Christmas one shot that we were playing on Christmas. And he's like, hey, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I can get my brother to play. This will be great. So we played two Dragonborn brothers, and I was chaotic. I was either chaotic neutral or neutral evil. I'm not sure which one it was, or I think maybe he was evil, but I was definitely chaotic.
Okay.
And I don't typically go, which is super like anti everybody. They're like, what are you talking about? I don't go in with a lot of backstory on my characters because I want to like figure out who my character is in the moment.
Okay.
And I typically roll really badly. So like I want to be able to kind of like play into that. So we were playing this game. We were trying to beat Krampus because that's like the whole goal. And like we get to a big decision point and I start rolling, and I'm like trying to decide what I do, and I'm like rolling, and then I'm rolling again, and I'm rolling again, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of being wishy-washy. And I'm like, oh well, let me figure this out. My brother stops and he's like, this had gone on for a while, and he stops and he's like, just play your character. Stop rolling the dice. I was like, whoa, okay. So he got irritated, and I thought it was hilarious, and I started laughing at him, and it was probably, I'm the older sister. It's what I do.
And it was an incident.
It was an incident. He got very frustrated.
And you still love each other, and we're all good now, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell us how many games you're part of? You were just saying that there are too many, and then we should get into that. So maybe we should get into that.
Sure. I think I'm a part of 5 right now.
And is that your usual?
During the pandemic, I had a solid 3 or 4 going on. That were weekly to every other week.
Wow.
Cool. Now I've got 3 that are sporadic. One of those I'm just playing an arc in, and that's actually I'm playing with Ben in his Ravenloft game. So that's fun. I'm playing a bard, so I'm a little less annoying, and I have a better alignment. But yeah. So, and then I have a every other week game, and then I have 2 weekly games. So,
And that's okay. No
it's a
shame in
lot.
that.
Yeah.
You look
No shame.
like no sheepish
shame.
faces. That's awesome. Have
That's,
fun.
nope.
I wish
Nope.
I was doing
So,
more. I don't have anything really going on.
do you want to do more?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that live because now people are gonna come play with me.
Right.
Yeah, probably. I gotta work something out. I've been trying to play with my husband for like a month, and we keep not getting things worked out. So that's probably why. It's.
I'll send a babysitter to y'all's house
Oh
just
my
so you can like
goodness.
play with us.
Yeah,
So,
children. Anyway.
oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like you look for a game for many years. You find a game, doesn't work out, find a game, doesn't work out, find a game, doesn't work out, and then all of a sudden you're like, how am I playing in 15 games right now? I don't know what's going on.
Feast or famine in the gaming world.
It is feast or famine. Yes, it is very much feast or famine in the gaming world. That is very true.
Now, just because I'm curious, we're usually talking about RPGs here, but a lot of the world, I think this is fascinating, just the term gaming or gamer. There are so many kinds of games in the world. Do you subscribe to only like RPGs, or are there lots of genres of game that you consider being a part of as a gamer? What does gaming mean to you?
Ooh, that's a great question. I subscribe to anyone who likes to play games is a gamer. And there is no, like, we don't shut anyone out of that. If all you like to play is euchre and that is your thing, this is very Midwestern of me right now, by the way.
Don't even know what that is.
That's right. In the Midwest we do. In the Midwest we do.
Is that
Yeah,
a board
it's a card
game?
game.
A card game.
It's a really weird card game.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, cards and sticks sometimes, but sometimes the cards go behind your ears and it's like a thing. But
Sounds
like,
fun.
yeah.
Sounds like a
It's very
holiday
Midwest.
family game. Is it a game where you play it with your family at the holidays?
Yeah, we played it a lot in study hall.
Oh,
So
or that.
we would have euchre tournaments in study hall. Yeah, again, very Midwestern of me.
Aw.
Yeah, it's super fun. And like that, like if you're serious about that, great. If you love bridge, if you love like cricket, if you love like sports ball people, they're gamers too, because
Yeah.
like they have a fandom that they subscribe to, right?
Why don't we call
Like,
athletes gamers? Just that.
I don't know, we're gonna know.
Sorry. Wait, what?
Yeah. You will start calling them gamers now. It's like, like football, right? Is a sports con. That's all it is.
The sport.
People go to their sports con every Saturday and they dress up in their cosplay and they wear their body paint and they go to their sports con. Same thing.
Why are we not all on the same team here? I mean, many of us are,
Yeah.
but like you were mentioning in the days
Mhm.
when some gaming was less popular, it didn't always seem like it was very unified, and that's just a crying shame.
Right. And I think that's what people miss out on too. Anyway, back to the game thing. Like, I board game, I video game, and I tabletop. Any one of those three, like you're a gamer. Card games, you're a gamer. Anything, you're a gamer. Like, there's no shutting people out. No, like, I'm not here to shut doors because like that's not what brings us all together. We've got a lot more in common than we all know.
And then if you didn't, who would you play your games with? So,
Right, exactly.
open doors.
Exactly.
Open doors bring more players.
Yes. More people to the D&D table because ultimately they will all come to tabletop RPG.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yes.
So
It's how wars will be solved in the future.
sounds good. Less
Yep.
explosive. So
That's right. More talking.
when you usually ask people what was your first game, I'm curious what you mean or have thought when you ask that. Like, do you mean literally like since you were a kid or your first RPG? What do you mean when you ask that?
So this is an interrogation trick that I'm using when I ask people that. I want to know what they think gaming is, and by asking them what their first game is, that gives them the opportunity to tell me what they think gaming is. So then we can talk about that. And again, I don't want to be exclusive and say gaming is this, this, and this. So
Yeah.
what was your first this? Like, I want to open.
Perfectly.
Because it could be like, my first game was like Jack's on the street corner in London. You know, who knows? I don't know. It wasn't for me. I have no idea.
That would be such a great story.
Right, exactly. And that's where you find the awesome stories at.
So your answer was what was an RPG with your brother. So that.
Yep. So to me, I define gaming as the gaming that I wanted to do for a long time.
Neat.
So yeah.
What was your earliest, like, was video games when you were much, much younger, or what was like your first genre of gaming in life? What came first?
Candyland. And that's how I learned how to cheat and stack the deck. Yep. Anytime Ben would go to the bathroom, I would stack the deck.
Does he know that?
He does now.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
And that's like when you're
Same
like
with
5.
Monopoly.
Wait.
Right. I know. No, he didn't.
Wait. But I can't.
Yeah.
Ask. Okay. How?
That's fine.
How much older are you than him? Like, how much?
21 months.
Okay, so it's not like you're taking advantage of like your 2-year-old brother when you're 6 or something. You're like the same age, basically.
Right. Yep. Oh, he said he stacked the deck once in Monopoly. I used to shove extra. I would always be the banker in Monopoly, and I would shove extra money underneath the board. And if I needed more, I could pull it out while people went to the bathroom.
That's brilliant and awful.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Good money saving tactics. I don't know.
This is when everybody. For a long time, I've had everyone assume that I'm either lawful good or neutral good, and I'm like, I am chaotic good or chaotic neutral. Like, no, I know me. I know I will cheat in a card game if you like give me the opportunity to. Never give me the opportunity, but I'll tell everybody I will.
You're like, just be smart. Don't leave it open.
Yeah, don't show me your cards. If you show me your cards, I'm going to cheat.
That's on you. That's on you.
Yep. Yep. Now you know.
Now we know. Okay. I have a special guest knocking on my door. And I don't know what to do with it because we're live. So just 1 second.
That's okay. That's why you have Andrew there. Andrew can go take care of it. Just be a figment in the background.
Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer's going to go take care of it.
By the way, everyone, we can't do this every month without Andrew, yes, who was my first interview on Behind the Mask. So please go back and listen to those videos. It was wonderful.
I don't know how he did that, how he did both at the same time, but he's cool.
I have no idea.
I don't know how he does anything he does. I really wish everyone could see this amazing setup. He has way too much technology here.
We can. You can take a picture of that and then you can drop it in the Behind the Mask chat on the Nightcast Creative channel.
I have literally done that before. I forgot about that. It's just different in person. You're like, so many monitors.
I know. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, the thing I'm looking at is interesting.
So we have what is supposed to be like 15 minutes left. So I'm going to start asking, I'm under journalistic obligation to ask the people's questions.
Yes, you are.
Your audience wants to know. And of course, your first audience questions are from, well, here, answer this. Who's your favorite brother?
Kevin. Sorry. Yeah. Mark said we started late, so we can take an extra 10 minutes. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Benno, you always be my favorite brother. That's correct.
Wait, I guess not everybody even knows. How many siblings do you have? Just
one.
Just you and Ben.
Just me and Ben. And then there are quite a few people over the years who have been adopted into our family. And Kevin is our redheaded brother that was like adopted into our family.
Oh, that's an actual person. I thought you were joking.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
And we were adopted into his family, so it's like fair. So I have an older brother, and then I have 2 younger brothers. But they're the older one and one of the younger ones aren't related to me.
Okay, well that's fascinating new information. I really thought it was just the two of you. The best
It
families
is
are
just the two of us. It is just the
the
two of us.
best families are the ones that always have like surrogate siblings that just like
Yes.
the house where the
Right.
parents like just bring all your friends. Everybody's welcome at the
Yep.
dinner table. So
Yep.
that must be why
And
you're such
still,
fine
I
people.
think Kevin and Jeff's parents, Patty and Ron, visited me in Asheville. Just visited me.
Aw,
Like,
so
yeah,
much love.
we have other family. Yeah, that's right.
That's great. Well, okay, so did you already answer his other question then about what
was it?
Oh no, like so what are your thoughts on lawful good characters and people? I don't even really know what he means by that, but maybe you do.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, good.
So, I have a theory that lawful good and lawful evil are the same thing.
Ooh.
Lawful good will always turn lawful evil when taken to the extreme. So,
Is that not do you think that's like a universal just human thing with not
think it
even
is.
games, like real people?
Yep.
That sounds like the best story arcs. Like that makes for the best kind of movies and stuff. Wow, you push them to the end, but then you have to find redemption after they've become evil.
Right, yeah. Then it's about oh yes. Thank you, Henry.
I'm not in the chat like I should
Henry
be.
says that I am correct. Which has been my experience, right? Because anything that you become a zealot about, you're ultimately going to end up crossing that line, even going for the greater good. So
Such good story stuff. I bet you have amazing character arcs. I want to play more with you.
I really don't. So my character arcs are pretty flat. I'm there to watch everybody else because I think that's fun.
I know what that feels like. I'm still new to I'm like really new to RPGs, and the few I play, I'm always catching myself. I'm like just basically used to watching movies, I guess, and wanting to watch the players. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be one of them. I shouldn't just listen to them be awesome.
I'm here. We'll have to play my Christmas one shot. I made Ben and Mark and my friend Dana play a Christmas one shot. We'll have to play the Christmas one shot. I think you would like that because it's such a short.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what it's about because it's all a surprise, but it's such a short thing. We'll get together. Y'all will see that later.
Okay.
Everything's content.
Like how many of these are serious questions he really wants me to ask? Most of them, I think.
See, this is why I pick and choose and I flip around everybody's questions so nobody knows.
Yeah.
So
how about a random one? Flan versus noodles. Who wins? Thank you, Chaos Mod.
Ooh, it has to be noodles because I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's terrible.
I'm like that. You're not alone, as you know.
Oh yeah. No. I know. And like in the last like 3 or 4 years, apparently like lots of other people are because it's a lot easier for me to get good tasting fake ice cream and cheese. And I can now get pizza places, so that makes me happy.
Oh yay! That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I had to go through a small stint once of acting like it because of my child, but that's okay. So
Oof.
I sympathize. I'm sorry. But yay for all the good alternatives. Now. Yeah, it's better now. That's
right. Yeah. And not feeling sick and being covered in rashes all the time. Way better.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Chaos asked some interesting questions. Like what I can't tell if this is an inside joke he knows about or just a general question he has in life. Like what t-shirt do you really miss? Is there one that he knows about? Or is that just a everybody has a shirt they miss?
I think everybody has a shirt they miss. I had a bunch of Sailor Moon t-shirts from the late 90s, very early 2000s, probably 99, 2000.
Were they baby
that were
tees?
Like baseball style tees.
Oh.
They were like but they were short because that's what we did back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a long torso, so nothing ever hit my belt line because we have like the super low rise jeans and then the like super baby doll t-shirts, and then like I have an abnormally long torso, so there was no saving that. I was cool before I knew I was cool.
So you were like,
but, yeah,
you're already like dressing perfect for your belly dancing days.
I was without knowing it. Yes. but yeah, no, those t-shirts, I can no longer wear them. I would love to find the run again, and I had all of the inner senshi. So yeah.
Are you into a lot of anime?
I'm super big into Sailor Moon. I got into some of the, I was into Cowboy Bebop before Cowboy Bebop was cool. I was super into Trigun,
Mm-hmm.
which is like another weird Western. I kind of have a theme with, I like kind of space Western. It's my genre. And what else? I watched Dragon Ball Z only because Ben watched Dragon Ball Z. So that was a lot. And then I've been super into Naruto lately. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's so good. So, yeah.
I just know there are a
Ronin
lot of.
Warriors. Oh, that's right. I read did I read Ronin Warriors?
I don't know.
I read Rhaegar. I know. I have to think about it. I read a lot of manga too.
I know a lot of
Spirit Hunters.
a lot of people here are also interested in those things. So that's why I
Yep.
asked. I don't know anything about them except the little bit my brother watched, and I would see it like in passing over his shoulder, but I didn't partake so much. But
That's okay. We'll get you into it.
okay. Always open to
And
new things.
yeah, the Hulu Sailor Moon is actually really good. So I was surprised. The 2016 Sailor Moon version I really liked. So
How is it still going? I don't even know. I just remember when it started.
no, so and I can never say her name right. So please forgive me, everyone. Like the author of Sailor Moon, and for some reason it sticks in my like mind is Neko Takeyachi, and I don't think that's it. But she wrote them back in the 90s, and it was like, what was it, like 93 to like maybe 90, 97. I don't think it was even that long. I was like maybe 93 and then 95. And they were originally like featured in a magazine. And then they were put together in the manga books. And then, no, it couldn't have been because 95 is when, so it was like 91 to like 93 or something.
Wow.
95 is when the Bandai did Sailor Moon, and then they took it to the US and just absolutely freaking ruined it for us. But it got us into Sailor Moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like a red filter, there's all kinds of things with the original Sailor Moon. But it was such a great story because it was a girl and all of her friends, and it was the first time I'd ever seen the magical girl trope. So it was really fun to me that kids my age, because I think I was 12 at the time that I started watching it.
Yeah, that sounds
12 or
about,
13.
sounds about right.
Yeah, 95. Yeah.
No, I just mean I remember about how old I was when it became big here, and I assume it was about then.
Yep. So yeah, so I would tape it so I could come home and watch it, and I still have actually some of the videotapes.
Wow.
But I ended up getting the whole series, the whole dub series on DVD. So I have the original series with all the movies dubbed on DVD.
Wow.
But I still love it. I cosplay. I've cosplayed as Sailor Moon. And I'm doing eventually, when I can like actually get the bodysuit right, I'll do Sailor Jupiter because she's my favorite.
Oh, neat.
So yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of your costuming stuff? Like, I've seen a few pictures just here and there, but I don't know that everyone knows about your skills. Like, you're a seamstress?
Oh my gosh.
Yes? Like, you
I
make
am
these
now.
things? What do you mean now? As of when? How long have you been doing
as
that?
of 2016. So I had a friend who invited me to go take a sewing class with her in January of 2016. And I sat down and I had who I think is possibly the best sewing teacher ever.
Aw.
In 3 hours, she taught me how to sew. Like, she was amazing. Her name's Danya. She is at the Asheville, North Carolina Joanne Fabrics. Go take classes from her. She's amazing.
That's so great. And what was your first thing? What did you make in that class?
Oh my, we didn't make anything.
Oh,
So,
okay,
like,
that's
that
fair.
It was like beginner basics. She showed us, we sewed a line on a thing, and then we sewed patterns on paper, and then I was like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
So I bought a sewing machine that night.
Wow.
And went home, and what was my first project? I think it was my mom's. I made an apron for my mom, which she
Aw.
still wears out of Doctor Who fabric.
Aw.
Um,
Is your
yeah,
mother a
and
Doctor Who
then
fan?
she is
Okay.
longtime Doctor Who fan.
That would have been really
Hmm.
cute if she wasn't and you just made it out of your fabric and she
She's like,
still wears
"What?
it.
Yeah.
It's such a mom thing. I'll
Oh yeah.
treasure
Oh
it
yeah.
forever.
Yes, she does. That was, but I made her that, and then I made myself a cloak. So,
Cool.
because your second project sewing should be a giant cloak.
I mean, it's mostly
Like,
straight lines, right?
it's mostly straight lines. I didn't understand understitching, and I skipped that, and now I really wish I hadn't. I could take it apart, but it's like it's
Such a
got a hood and
pain.
stuff, and I'm like, I'll just sew over everything if I want to not deal with that.
That's so cool. I hope that you
So,
will
mhm.
soon, like today, tomorrow, put in a bunch of pictures of your cool costumes that you've made. I've seen like two, I think,
I
but
have
I have a
to,
feeling there's more.
yeah. I've been upping it, and I've been costuming myself and one of my best friends for Dragon Con. We did Elsa and Anna. That was my pandemic project. And then we just did we did what I would call the alpha version of our Great Fairy costume from Breath of the Wild. We will
Oh,
have a beta version because I did not get the accessories done, and I think it looked terrible. So
I
I'm
bet
working
that's
on
not
the
true.
accessories now. Yeah, I didn't like it, but yeah.
I
So it's been fun. I need projects like that.
I understand. I hope you will share them. I want to see. I think it's
Totally.
fascinating. Cosplay is
Yep,
so
I'll have to
cool
find
on
them.
its own, but then when you're hand making stuff, that's an amazing art that I'm really impressed by.
Yeah, that Anna dress was a labor of love. I learned a lot of things on that dress. It's
That's
actually why I have the
intricate.
job I do.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
talk about that. I'm interested.
So yeah, so I currently am embedded at a company that does promotional materials and does sublimation and mold creation stuff with like resin and plastics and uh, embroidery.
Like for costuming?
So no. For like logos and
Okay,
stuff on
just
shirts,
general
like
stuff. Okay.
something for Secret Labs, like this back here,
Okay.
this would not be something they would do, but a company that would do something like that.
Okay.
So the Anna dress is where I started getting into like cutting my own, which actually the knowledge of my cut files came in handy the other day, but cutting my own, like patterning my own appliques
Mhm.
and cutting them. So yeah, I patterned all of those like down to the exact size ratio for her
Perfect.
panels, so they looked perfect because I thought the
Yes.
hand ones looked terrible. I don't like them. I'm very much a perfectionist.
I really,
So
really appreciate
yeah.
that about you.
Yeah, I have
I
to drop one.
I have different art that I do things like that where I like, but the ratio, the size has to be right or it doesn't look
Right,
right.
it has to
So
be
thank you for
perfect.
being cool like that because people.
Yeah.
I want you to know I appreciate that. Not enough people appreciate that effort, and
Yeah.
it's hard.
I'm that person who will sit there like at the TV screen, like holding up different swatches of fabric. And I know like most digital media are like this, right? Is like CMYK and like we use stuff generally in RGB and stuff, but like I will hold it up and be like, is that the same color? No, it's not the same color. It's a little different. No, it's got to be this. So like it is obsessive, the
That's
level
so
like
cool.
that I go to.
Well, I can't wait for you to
So
show us.
yeah, sure.
You have to show us.
Yeah, that's my favorite one I've done. But
Yay.
yeah,
Okay, do you want to let's do some random questions that are like not even
let's
related.
do some random
Like
questions.
AJ says, please rank your pets and why are they in the slot they are? And he says yes, Ben counts, but I think we shouldn't say that. That's not nice.
Oh, okay.
I'll just say not my
I'm
words.
gonna rank them in order that I got them.
Okay.
So I currently have 3 pets, although most people wouldn't count them all. I have my dog Booger, who's actually asleep on the couch behind me.
And what kind
Yeah,
of dog
he's
is it?
asleep. He is a mutt. I have no idea. I think he's got some beagle in him. He acts like a beagle.
When I say kind, I just mean like, is it big? Is it brown?
Oh, he's he's like 40 pounds. So he's technically a medium dog. So he's very cute though.
Oh.
I like him very much. So and he's my buddy. He is with me all day, almost every day, like
Oh.
except when I have to leave the house. So and then I have a fish that is a black beta fish. So I named him Alaric, King of the Goths. So,
That's pretty
you know,
cool.
for those of you who want to look that up, he was the king of the Goths who slaughtered everyone. And my fish takes after him.
No
My
doubt.
fish hates everyone and puffs up. And then I have one surviving snail because he killed the other snail, who currently doesn't have a name. And I've tried to give him a name a couple times, but I can't remember what it is.
What kind of snail?
So
Like a really cool, like a big one? Like what kind of snail are we talking about?
he's not that big. He's just a little red snail.
Oh, pretty.
And I'm trying to think what kind he is. He's the kind that has the antennas on the inside because Alaric likes to go up and like freak out at him all the time and try to like attack him. And the snail is just like, I'm cleaning up your poop. What do you want from me?
So it's an underwater one. It lives in the aquarium or whatever.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Add some
It's very
color.
cute. Yep. And he takes good care of the aquarium. So
What a good balance. Your three animals.
yeah. Yep. My three animals. And Alaric is almost a year old. So I've done pretty good.
That is good, especially for fish.
Yep. Yeah.
So I bet everybody wants to know, or at least Mark and I, what is your number one favorite book ever? That's such a hard question.
Ooh. Okay, so currently it is a series of books, and I think book series count as one because they are an ongoing story. The series is by Martha Wells. It's called The Murderbot Diaries, and I love it so much. Never have in my life have I felt so understood as I did when I listened to these books.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, pretty sure Martha knows me. Gotta be one of my friends writing about me.
Intimately.
I don't know.
Just close
Yes.
friends.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I
that's
think,
so great.
yeah. It's a great series. And it deals a lot with like thinking, Henry, I think you would like this a whole lot. Thinking about like your humanity and what makes somebody human or sentient or alive. And like it's super awesome. And I like it. It's talks like a lot about the value of friendship and just like relationship through friendship, which I really appreciate because I think our relationships that are not considered romantic are undervalued, and I think it's hurting us as a society. So, which is also why we do this
This is
to
why
get to
we
know
do.
each other
Oh,
and build relationships.
I didn't ask yet, did I? How? Tell us the origin story of Behind the Mask. That was supposed to be like question number one, and I got distracted. But yes, you're right. It's so important, and you're so right. So tell us the origin story of Behind the Mask and why we do this.
So for anyone who is ADHD, I'm sure you have picked up on the fact that I am ADHD. All of my meds have worn off today, which is why I'm constantly moving and having a hard time staying on track. But like, I was in the middle of one of my ADHD times where I needed something else, and I felt like I wanted to give back, especially to the community. And I was like, all right, what skills do I have? I'm not great at DMing. Yeah, they couldn't pay attention long enough to figure it out. It takes about 3 seconds, Ben. 3 seconds. But I wanted to give back to the community, and I'm a super ADHD like DM when we play, and everything is chaos. And I was like, this is a lot of pressure to be under on recording or on like a live play. So what is it that I do and do well? And I was like, I talk to people. I know how to like get people to say cool things about themselves.
And literally interrogate them.
Yeah, literally interrogate them. It's a lot more friendly than people think. But it was also like, things are pretty rough in the world. And I was like, I think we all need to, like, the one thing that we can do is start humanizing each other and like from that point, we can find understanding, and like beliefs may be different, you know, religion may be different. But we can, if we start to see each other, we can start to find common ground and find where all of that is the same, and that maybe these divides that we're so upset about are not really anything. And instead of fighting over stupid things like money, which is made up anyway, we made that up if nobody didn't know that. It's not real. That's science didn't make money.
That's a
and
good line.
Like, it's true.
Can't argue with that.
And, right. Weird beliefs, right? But like, then we can start to build and form those relationships and make a better world for each other and love each other where we're at and move forward. So it all starts with little steps with each other.
I mean, and honestly, I don't know how Mark created this awesome group, but there are so many great people here, and genuinely, I have loved.
Fascinated by that.
I know.
Yes.
And the show has been really, really fun, and I'm constantly like, can we do this more than once a month? Like I said, I'm new here. I've been here,
God,
like,
I'd die.
I didn't join. I know. I didn't join till after you had already started the show. I think Ben was my first one I tuned into live.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was like a year and 2 months ago, because I was down at Dragon Con when I was doing it.
Very specific. I did not know.
Because I know where I am when I'm at Dragon Con.
Right?
That's like my one time like pin.
So,
I know that. It's my event I've got.
So I've been here a year and 2 months, apparently. Thank you, Sarah Joy.
You're welcome.
And genuinely, everyone that we've watched, I've been like, that person is amazing. That person is so cool. Mm-hmm. And I know there are a ton of them that we interact with all the time that have not gotten episodes yet. And I'm like, I know that person's amazing, but I don't know enough about them. And I just can't wait to learn more about everybody. And I'm so glad that you started this, because there's so many good people we don't know enough about, and we should become better friends, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody has a super cool backstory. And I think like, especially when we're playing D&D or like and again, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm biased against D&D. But especially when like we're playing role-playing games, we get focused on creating these backstories for our characters, and we forget how cool we are as people. So like being able to highlight that for someone too is fun, and then like watch people connect over it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So according to what Mark said, we would have had like 2 minutes left. I don't know. Do you want us like,
we can do whatever you want. You're in charge.
Well, okay.
Do it. All right. I'm gonna keep these to one word answers so I can make everyone else follow this pattern in the future.
Okay. Music's always a uniting force. What is the most underrated band?
Oh my gosh, my friend Drayton and the Dreamboats. Look them up.
Oh, you're friends. I love that. What is your favorite place you've ever lived?
My little house in Canton, North Carolina.
Where do you consider you are from? Like, is that where you grew up or are from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Is that where you are?
From here.
That's where you're now. Okay.
That's where I am now, yeah.
What show, besides Firefly, got canceled too soon? And if you got
I thought about this. This is so hard for me. Firefly. I mean, Firefly. Is there anything else?
I mean, he's not.
I looked at
live.
a bunch
You
of
can
one.
say that if you want.
I looked at a bunch of one season shows, and honestly, I think Firefly. Oh no, there was another one I watched on Netflix that I was really upset about. Oh, Daybreak. Like,
I know that.
Daybreak was an awesome show, and they canceled it, and we didn't find out until like this year in January. That was such a great show.
How should
it
have
really
ended?
well done.
How should it have ended?
How should it?
You get to choose.
I get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I want the girl who. Oh no, I don't want to do spoilers. I want someone to end up ruling the whole world, because I think she would do an awesome job. Okay, that's it.
Was that really satisfying to be like, I get to decide the best ending?
I usually fill in my own endings anyway, so.
Isn't that just better that way?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who is
Looking at you, George R. R. Martin. Yep, go ahead.
Who's your favorite character you've ever played?
Jack.
How many characters do you think you've played?
More than 15.
That's a good number. Tell us about Jack.
Yep. Jack is a true neutral, non-binary human rogue.
Ooh.
And they do not have time for anyone's crap. Jack is more emo than emo.
And why is he your favorite? Like, what is it that you like most?
Yeah, so
I said he. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I don't know.
No, you're good. So they had a very clear set of rules that they followed. And as long as they were truly following those rules, nothing mattered. And the rules were, for the most part, good. And I liked exploring Jack. It was very like, I don't know if anyone's seen The Expanse. It was very like Amos, but more like Jack knew and didn't care about right and wrong, but knew that like for people like them to survive, because Jack was also the benefactor of the orphanage where they were raised at, which is also a rogue training school because all the kids go out and steal. But like,
Perfect.
It was very important for Jack to give kids the opportunity to like have a way that they could make it in the world.
Aww.
So yeah, really love that character.
I really like that character too. Just
yeah.
Don't you wish you could make some of the characters into like a whole show? I mean, some of you guys do. What am I saying?
Oh yeah, it would be a great show. I thought you were gonna say, don't you wish you could meet them? And I'd be like, no, Jack is like a terrible person to be around.
Oh.
They're incredibly melancholy and like annoying, but they would make for an amazing show.
Yeah, I mean, like books or show, like just to explore them more. When you find a character you love, just like in books, you want to know them more. I don't know, spend more time with them. When are we supposed to turn this off, producer man? Like, how do we just?
Whenever you want to, you're in control.
I'm so bad at that. I'm a night owl, and I would just be like, let's just talk all night. But you live in a different time zone. Should we do like?
I do.
Like
just one over. Sure. Pick your last
question.
Pick your last question. Because
Okay.
what we'll do is we'll jump over in the chat.
True.
For those of you who don't know, we have the Discord, the Nightcast Creative Discord server, and we do chat after the show on the general channel there. So it's super fun.
Hey, who's
you all
hosting
should join
this
this
thing?
awesome community. Say what?
I said, hey, who's hosting this thing?
Oh, sorry.
No, absolutely, they should know that. If you're watching on YouTube, like she said, come hang out with us. Okay, let's find one last good question. Oh, here you go.
I'll answer all the other ones in the chat too.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect last question. It's so big. What life advice would you give the listeners?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what life advice I would give them is stay curious and stay humble and always try to find something that you have in common with someone. So that's always be curious. Don't think you know the answer, and just be humble because you probably don't know the answer. And again, you can find something in common with everyone. Spread that love.
Those are some wise parting words. That is some good universal stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Best answer.
And watch Firefly. That's it.
There you go. All right.
Best show ever.
Well, I have had so much fun getting to know a lot more about you. And again, I'm left being like, I want more episodes of everyone. Let's keep learning about you. Let's be friends forever. But we're going to turn this episode off, and everyone can come and hang out with us, and we can talk some more in general. And next month, Sarah Joy will be your host again. And I guess I'm supposed to be in the interview seat that time. So come back and watch next month on some Monday. I forget how it works. First Monday of the month?
The first Monday of every month.
And
usually, unless something else is going on, and then just find it on the Discord.
Yeah, that's true. Mark has events and things to look at the calendar. Okay, thanks so much. This has been fun, and we're all going to go chat on the Discord general channel. How do we end this thing? I'll let you do the last bit.
Bye, everyone. Smile and wave until Andrew cuts us off.